Welcome to today's webinar. My name is John Campana and I'm VP of Sales and Marketing at Landworks. And the purpose of today's webinar is to add some clarity around the Symantec corporate split and how Altiris fits into the new vision. With regards to Symantec Executives, today we have Ronald, who's the Symantec Canadian Country Manager, Hugo Parra, who's the Director of Product Management, Endpoint Management, which is where Altiris fits in, Robert Iannicello, who's our Partner Success Manager. And today we're going to learn about the Symantec corporate split, the Altiris 3-year roadmap, and how it all integrates itself together. With regard to some housekeeping, minimize the GoToWebinar side panel, and feel free to ask questions at any time during this webinar using the message functionality at the bottom. We will answer all your questions at the end to provide some continuity. This webinar is also being recorded and it will be sent to all of you upon completion. For any social listeners, please follow along using Twitter with the hashtag Symantec Altiris Webinar. With regards to the agenda, obviously it's been in the news lately with regards to the Symantec corporate split. Ronald will talk about the new organizational structure, how will the changes affect you, and the structure of Symantec in Canada. With regards to Altiris Product Roadmap, Hugo will elaborate on the product roadmap over the next 3 years and the availability of executive briefings and how we can further assist you in understanding the product and what it does and so on and so forth. So with that, I'd like to push it over to Ronald, Hugo, and Robert. So over to you, Ron, first.
Yeah, good afternoon, folks. Everybody hear me okay? John?
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to take you through a little bit about the plan to separate the business of Symantec, talk to you a little bit about what's transpired over the last month in terms of the sale of Veritas, and then give you a little bit of an overview of the structure for enterprise security in Canada. So just quickly, October 9th, 2014, the Board of Directors approved a plan to separate the company into two independently publicly traded companies. One of those will be focused on security, and the other one's going to be focused on IM. Now, this is what's happened back October 9th, 2014, but I will bring you up to date in terms of what transpired over the last 30 days. So we made the decision because, you know, as the industry landscape changes at a very rapid pace, we obviously realize that the security and IM business face unique challenges, competition, competitive opportunities, and it became clear that continuing to try to win in both the business of security and IM would require distinct strategies, focused investments, and ongoing market innovation. So, as a result of that, the separation will allow each company, and I stress each company, to focus on its unique growth opportunities, reduce the operational complexity that we currently face, enhance our strategic flexibility, pursue partnerships, and tailor M&A strategies, and also set distinct capital allocation policies. You might ask, so why didn't we spin off the Norton business? So as you know, Symantec is focused on security, and Norton is the largest consumer security business in the world, and therefore the Board of Directors felt that that was integral and critical to keep Norton and Symantec together. So in terms of dates, we're working diligently today to form what's called an operational separation, which will occur October 3rd, 2015. So operationally, if you will, the IM business will be split from the enterprise security business, and the legal separation will occur January 2nd, 2015. So, going forward, the security business strategy will be to deliver a unified security platform that integrates threat information from our security products and Norton endpoints. We plan to grow our security services capabilities across managed security services incident response, threat intelligence, and simulation-based training. And we also plan to simplify and integrate our security portfolio across the entire suite of offerings that we have. So that is what happened. That was what announced publicly October 9, 2014. And then just recently, we announced publicly that that we've entered into a definitive agreement to sell Veritas to the Carlyle Group. That's going to result in an $8 billion transaction, and the sale, like I said, is expected to close by the end of the year, just in line with the legal separation that we're currently working on now for the 1st of January 2016. At that time, Veritas will become a private company. So although we said in October, 2 separate publicly traded companies, business transacted in the background, resulting in the sale of Veritas to the Carlyle Group, and Carlyle is a privately held company, and they will keep Veritas as a private company going forward. So it was sold for $8 billion. We have to pay taxes on that money. Some of it's going to be paid back to the shareholders in terms of a dividend. So at the end of the day, Symantec's going to be left with a fair amount of cash, and there's conversations going on right now about how best we're going to spend that money, both looking at mergers and acquisitions as well as internal organic growth and accelerating our product development and so on. So so as a result of that, specifically for Symantec, when it's all said and done, Symantec will be a pure play security company, and that will also include Norton as well too. But our primary focus each and every day when we get up and satisfy our customers and partners will be in and around security. And that's obviously going to strengthen our financial foundation and allowing us to invest aggressively in the world's cybersecurity market. So that's what's happening in terms of the sale of Veritas. In terms of a country strategy, we have about 30 people in Canada as a result of the separation of Veritas, and those 30 people are focused on enterprise security, small medium business security, net new, our renewals business. We have channel account managers and renewals, and we cover coast to coast. So we have offices in Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and that's the structure that we have going forward to satisfy both our partners and our customers. So I'll just maybe pause there for a moment. I know I went pretty quick, but if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer the ones that I can. Okay, no further questions? Okay, so I appreciate you giving the opportunity to talk, and I'm looking forward to having ongoing, regular dialogue like this. And if you feel the need for Symantec, with Landworks to come out and share with you in more detail in terms of where we are, where we're going, in terms of our unified security threat architecture, we're more than happy to do that. But at this point, I'm going to turn the ball over to Hugo, and he's going to walk you through our roadmap for the Altiris product. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Ron. So good afternoon, everyone. Would you confirm that you can see my screen?
We're good, Hugo.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'd like to thank Ron and Landworks for inviting us to participate on this webcast. We really appreciate having the opportunity to reach out to all of you customers there in Canada and providing you with an update on the course of our Altiris business, the direction that we have. My name is Hugo Parra, as was mentioned before. I lead the product management team for the entire Altiris portfolio, endpoint management. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and again, it's a privilege being with you today. One of the things that I wanted to address right off the bat is I get a question from time to time regarding the direction that that the endpoint management or Altiris business will take post the Symantec and Veritas split. I've heard some people ask if there's a chance that endpoint management will stay with Veritas rather than Symantec, and I just wanted to make sure that it's clear that the Altiris business, excuse me, the endpoint management business is going to stay with Symantec. It's a critical piece of the Symantec story. I want to give you a couple of details on that, but I wanted to use just momentarily this slide, which was used by Michael Brown in the in the presentation that was given about the separation strategy announcement to them. And he highlighted some of the key aspects that will help the Symantec business going forward, some of the assets that are meaningful, and the strengths of not just the business but the portfolio. And in here, as you can see, endpoint management is critically listed as part of the portfolio of products that will go forward with the Symantec business. What I want to provide beyond that, though, is the reason for that. There's a lot of thought that has gone into how endpoint management contributes and plays a part of the Symantec security strategy, right? Plus the management strategy. And this is most of you, if you have had an executive briefing or discussed the Symantec product strategy with an executive or a sales rep, you have come to become familiar with this framework, right? It's basically 4 large pillars that provide an overview of the capabilities and the strategy going forward. Under threat protection is where you find the endpoint strategy, and it is there where management plays the largest role, endpoint management, in the broad Symantec product strategy. So if I were to zoom in into that endpoint category under threat protection, what you would see is that Symantec views the complete endpoint protection and management as providing 3 main or meeting 3 main objectives, and they're all part of making sure that that environment is secure. Secure visibility, comprehensive management, and then advanced security. We tend to hear a lot about advanced security, and for a good reason, right? There's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of new concepts that are evolving in that area that are very core to Symantec. But that does not diminish in any way the value and the innovation that is coming also from some of the other 2 areas, visibility and comprehensive management. Under those, you can see the importance of inventory, asset management, being able to do continuous monitoring of what's out there, being able to harvest and deploy, right? Everything that is basically the concept of having a well-managed environment, where Altiris, the endpoint management, plays an important role. Under comprehensive management, obviously that gets extended to do some of the traditional management of OS, deployment, management, as well as patch, right, which includes vulnerability assessment as well as vulnerability remediation through updates that are security related as well as just regular updates. That is why endpoint management remains a core piece of the story that's Symantec, and I think a lot of the reasons why that, that piece of the puzzle continues to be strategic and core to what Symantec offers to our customers. So I wanted to just kick that off. I know that the reason for me being on is to talk about our strategy and roadmap going forward. but given the fact that I do get that question from time to time, I just wanted to address that right off the bat. Now, for the rest of what I'm going to be sharing with you, I do need to make it explicit that the information that I will share is our best information that we have available at this time. I like to share that very transparently and in good faith, but just with an acknowledgement that it's roadmap information, it's future work that we're working on, and that things change, right? And so that should be expected, even though what I provide you with right now is our best thinking and the best status of where we're at with our development. Okay, so what I want to start with here is a quick review of what has just recently transpired and our upcoming release, which we're calling ITMS version 8. So if some of you who've been tracking us closely know that as far back as October 2013, when we released ITMS 7.5, we embraced a new philosophy when it came to our releases. We embraced a much tighter release cadence. We released 7.5, and 9 months later we had 7.5 SP1, and then 9 months later we had ITMS 7.6. And each one of those releases has been a feature release with a lot of new features, a lot of new capabilities to our customers, and increased quality and all kinds of goodies that we given to our customers. Along the side with that, the other aspect that we embraced with our new cadence and new development was that each one of those releases has been an in-place upgrade from a previous release. In fact, from the previous two major versions. And we have continued to do that. And that's proven to be a very strategic value to our customers as they're able to adopt the new functionality much easier, right, a lot quicker without the disruption to their environment. And and we are committed to continuing that. ITMS version 8, which is slated to ship in the first quarter calendar year 2016, is an in-place upgrade. All the great value that we have, despite the fact that it's a major release, will be available to our customers as an in-place upgrade. You will see us continuing to do that. We strive to make our capabilities easy to consume, again, to our customers. I will mention one more aspect that has changed for some of you who might not have been tracking us closely. Since the release of ITMS 7.5, again 2 years ago almost, next month, we have implemented a operating system support policy in which we have decoupled the operating system platform support from our feature releases. It used to be prior to that whenever we had a new feature or a new operating system in the market, that we would do a lot of the testing, a lot of the development, and then we will do our best to line that up with the next feature release. Worked out okay for us, but for our customers, in some cases, that required them to wait, several months, sometimes longer than that, to have support for those operating systems. Since that release of 7.5, we enable ourselves to provide updates for operating systems, again, decoupled from those feature releases. So we have been very consistent in adding support for those along the way, and then we message that when a new version, feature release comes out. So you see here under the ITMS 8 block here that I'm listing platform support at the bottom of that, and you see a good list of things that we have added. The reality is that those are not coming necessarily as part of the feature release in March. We actually have been delivering those along the lines, as those operating system versions have become available to the market, allowing our customers to be very predictive in how they plan to support and introduce those operating systems to their environment. Nevertheless, it's is something that we want to make sure that people did not miss along the way, and I think it's important. It has added to the value that our customers get from our solutions. So what can you expect in ITMS version 8? It truly builds on some of the patterns that we had developed from 7.5 and then 7.6. There's a number of things that we have continued to build in the areas of security and usability and scalability. We certainly made important inroads along those lines with the previous last 3 previous releases. But here we're taking things even farther, but along those lines. There's a couple things that our customers have asked of us for quite some time. Many of our customers rely on asset management or being able to, among other things, keep track of the compliance of their software licensing, right? Make sure that they're not exceeding and they're not underusing the licenses that they have purchased for some of those applications. We are, with this release, version 8, extending the capabilities in that solution to be able to account for not just nodal licenses, which is what we've done up to this point, but being able to have CPU-based, core-based, and a combination of all of those, right, in more complex models, to be able to account for what is more common among our customers in today's landscape. So that will allow our customers obviously to cover a large number of new and emerging scenarios for how they track their software licensing. Something that we have anticipated, our customers have anticipated for quite some time. In the security area, we have invested with this release in being able to provide a better encryption technology throughout the product. The high bar for us has been to use PIPS compliant modules throughout. That obviously has a great benefit for some government and some other agencies related to that, but the benefit is not just for them, right? Being able to have a better use of the technology for encrypting sensitive information, everybody benefits from that. The good news here is that the transition to those new models, to the new encryption modules, as well as the data that had been encrypted to a previous module and to a new technology, will happen seamlessly. Our goal is to make that continue to have an in-place upgrade, both from 7.5 SP1 as well as from ITMS 7.6 into 8, where all of this will just happen behind the scenes and without disruption, again, to our customers' business. Great value, we believe, for what our customers can expect on ITMS version 8. A couple of things that I would just highlight here, and then I'm going to go to the top segment that I skipped on purpose for you guys. But we're putting a lot of emphasis on scalability. We have customers that are pushing the limits of our current published scalability for it. Our goal is to more than double that, right, so that our customers can scale up to around 50,000 nodes per notification server for SMP server. We think that is going to solve a lot of the resource issues that customers are bumping against, and it's going to allow them to scale that very nicely in many environments. That also has an impact on customers that are using hierarchy, right? That also expands the reach of a single hierarchy and how many end nodes we can manage through that. So it does have a nice effect throughout your ability to scale. Along with that, side by side, whenever we scale our implementations, it's implied that we also need to be able to provide console and the way that we do things, so that those go hand in hand. And then usability. There's a number of areas here where if you are using ITMS version 7.5 SP1 or 7.6, there's a lot of improvements that we put in how people use filters and targets, so that you can dice and slice the information that you have in your ITMS environment with a lot more power and being intuitive. We're getting that type of experience now as the main mechanism for our customers to create reports. So gone will be the days where you needed to ask questions about, what does the schema looks like, or what's the right SQL statement, right? Query to pull this up. The type of ad hoc report creation that we added for creating filters will become the means for our customers to create operational reports. We think that will be a great benefit as an example of the enhancements that we put into usability. So those are very exciting. Those are things that we're bringing in to enhance the core value of what our customers have traditionally used ITMS for. But we didn't want to stop there, guys. We wanted to take ITMS to areas where in the past we have really not been able to manage certain use cases inside our customers' environments. Specifically, we're targeting use cases where their end nodes, we know that there's many of our customers who have devices that, although a device is owned by the corporation, it has not necessarily been deployed through the regular IT channel, right? It has not been gone and been provisioned with a management agent and things of that sort. And so there will be people in an organization who will purchase those devices, through some offline channel and then expense them. So they are part of the organization. They're assets that belong to the company, but they're not currently managed. We want to be able to provide an option that is a user self-enrolled enrollment option for those devices to be very easily, very conveniently being brought in under management. Another use case that we're addressing through that user self-enrollment mechanism is the ability for BYOD devices to be brought in under management. Now, with a BYOD device, it's not just enough to provide a user self-enrollment mechanism. At the end of the day, in most cases, most BYOD scenarios, it's not viable. It's not reasonable for an IT group to put an ITMS agent to manage that and take over that BYOD device. So for those cases, coupled with the user self-enrollment, there would be an modern OS type of management. Think of it as MDM style of management to bring some of those devices under management, but with a little bit of a lighter touch, right, to be able to do that. So the ITMS administrator will get visibility of those devices without enforcing them to be a full ITMS agent-managed environment for that. And with those capabilities, basically the door is open for also any other device, Android or iOS, that can self-enroll for that type of lightweight type of management, right, to be able to be brought in to visibility into the ITMS console so that our IT administrator can have full view of all those devices that are accessing the resources in that environment through that mechanism. A lot of these capabilities are coming to us, and I put a note in here. This might be a new acronym to some of you, the Symantec Unified Endpoint Management. Some people refer to it as SOUP. Some people refer to it as beachhead. Some of you guys may have heard those terms. Really, the term is Unified Endpoint Management, Endpoint Protection, is what will bring some of those capabilities to us. By us integrating with that, will allow us to have a connection or a bridge between those two worlds and start bringing that unified view to our customers. We think that this is a very interesting, very exciting development for our customers that will bring significant value to them and bring visibility where in the past they've lacked that. So that's in a nutshell what ITMS 8 will bring to us. We're excited to be wrapping up the development on that. Still a few months away from the GA date, but I think it's an exciting time for us as we go into that. Now, you started even with that version 8. From my description of what we're working on there, you saw that bring a unified view, bringing some of the mobility aspects, UIoT, some of the security aspects into the forefront of what customers can expect into ITMS. You can see that we're moving already in the direction where many of the market trends are taking us, right? And so I kind of want to do that, call those out explicitly here briefly before I talk to you about what comes after ITMS version 8, right? Again, we're already showing some of the our reaction to that and how we want to start being more proactive in addressing these markets with version 8, but we'll go beyond that with some of this stuff. So 3 key trends that I illustrate here quickly for you. One is a move to the cloud, right? There's a lot of organizations that are looking at and reevaluating the value that comes to them from not having to manage, administer, and implement the solution itself, but just use it, just get to the value of it without having to, implement it and maintain it on an ongoing basis. And Symantec is obviously very interested, being a trusted entity in the market, a trusted brand, and especially in the area of security, on how us having the ability to secure some of the potential cloud implementations can bring added confidence to those thoughts of moving things to the cloud. Another thing is that we see a lot of cases within our customers, but in the industry at large, where organizations that do traditional IT operations types of management are coalescing with security aspects. Not the entire system necessarily, but things like step users and malware administrators and things of that sort are becoming, we're finding them more and more that are being done by either the exact same person in some cases or reporting to the same director or manager. And we believe that that is showing a pattern to be able to, for us to leverage synergies across both use cases out there within our customers. And certainly we see on the right-hand side here a convergence of unified endpoint, which is bringing some of the management of mobility, the MDM style of management with the traditional side of things. Some of this will take time, but our customers are asking for a single view of their environment, right? A single place where they can set policies and being able to drive from that perspective. So this is what our reaction is to that. And again, some of this might be something that you have heard by a different name. Symantec is investing heavily in what we're calling now Symantec Unified Endpoint Protection, which is a cloud-based platform to be able to bring some of that value to our customers as a service. And this Symantec Unified Endpoint Protection offering is basically the first of its kind from Symantec, and providing that value to customers on that cloud platform, or what you will hear us refer to as a common cloud platform, offered by Symantec, hosted by Symantec, secured by Symantec, but provided as a convergence point, not just for security, but for management, for data loss protection, for advanced threat protection, for basically all the key value that Symantec offers today, but converged right on one platform from the cloud and addressing all the different use cases that are important to customers. This is a significant investment for Symantec right now. The first iteration of this, like I said, this Symantec Unified Endpoint Protection is about to see the light of the day. There will be a release for that towards the latter part of this year, and then we'll follow that up with a more broad release of it early next year. So a lot of excitement around this. So how does this impact management? Right? I mentioned in passing that management is one of the areas that plays a role in this unified view from the cloud, and basically what you will see on releases post version 8. Basically, version 8 starts getting us right into this world, right? By having us that integration with SUP or Semantic Unified Endpoint Protection, then we can start bringing some of this unified view, not just of the traditional devices and traditional models of managing an environment, but some of the new devices, some of the ambient type of things, some of the security like SEP-like functionality available from as a cloud service, right? And yet bubbling up to a single view. And what you will see after that is us bringing the additional, not just the convergence of these things, but taking some of this view so that it is available centrally from the cloud. Very exciting stuff. Our goal would be that more and more of our customers get to use our value, right, of our solutions without spending an ordinary amount of effort and money and resources on implementing those things. Right? We are cognizant that we're pretty far along in our investigation of all the use cases for customers, right, that will have the need for us to, to account for use cases that may require on-prem extensions or capabilities to be able to account for the broadest possible set of use cases that are important to them. So that's under consideration. There's a lot of details behind what I'm presenting here, right? Obviously, that play into our direction, and obviously we'll be sharing more and more of that detail with our customers as this develops. But I would want to just offer that to have follow-up. More than happy to have follow-up discussions to provide some of the details behind this strategy and what you can expect from us, and how you can plan for some of these features going forward. Now, to make myself available to have either one-on-one phone calls or whatever is needed for us to make sure that you have the latest information on our direction here. So very exciting times. I wanted to make sure that you guys knew the direction that we're heading with not just endpoint management, but broader than that, right? With the full semantic portfolio when it comes down to taking some of these things to the cloud. I will conclude my time here just giving you a quick update. I know that questions come up, and I received some of this leading out to this webcast as to what can you turn for what can you turn to for additional help or information on some of this stuff. First of all, I wanted to share with you that in the endpoint management business, we do have a strong set of resources that are dedicated, and leadership that is dedicated to this business and the capabilities, not just for what we do today in the management as you know it today, but in what management evolves, right, in the future under the semantic umbrella and vision. And so here are some of the names and some of the roles. Obviously, we're more than happy to make some of this contact information available to you. You need to reach out to either John, myself, or Ron to be able to get to the details on how to reach out to these folks. And like I said earlier, we're also making myself available and my team available for follow-up calls or even visits on more details on the product discussion that we just touched on at a very high level today. I've also got the question on executive briefings. We absolutely are available to have executive briefings that cover or that are focused around endpoint management. That's something that we do regularly. Our executive briefing center is located in Mountain View, and that's where you'll get the nice dine and wine and everything else that comes with an executive visit, and that's certainly a place that you can visit with. But we will be open to have a briefing that is of a more technical nature in Linden, Utah, where we also have a lot of the technical leadership and resources located here. I don't think that's something that we would hesitate to entertain. So I would like to mention that to you as well as a possibility to have a deeper engagement into what's going on in EPM. So with that, what I would like to do is turn it to any questions, opening it up for some questions that that some of my remarks or Ron's remarks might have brought up in your mind. We'd like to, we still have 15 minutes that we can use to address some of those questions. So let me open the
Thank you, Hugo, and thank you, Ron. A couple of questions just came up. It used to be that I used to have a Symantec sales rep calling me at all times, and maybe I'm not that important anymore, but who is my rep in my area? And Ron, I'll point that to you.
Yeah, sorry, I was just muted.
Okay.
Where's John? Where's the question coming from? Is that from Toronto?
It's coming from out west.
Out west. So right now we don't have the sales leaders out west. But we are servicing that area from a sales leader that's located in Toronto. There is a technical support person that's located in Calgary that's able to travel. That's Greg Belanger. But Beatrice Diaz is looking after the Western Territory until we find a suitable replacement for the individual that was in Vancouver. But we definitely have plans to rehire that individual in the coming months.
And also with that, I know, Ron, you gave me a list of sales reps just recently, i.e. this week. So if anybody out there is interested in knowing or has not been in contact with a Symantec rep, I've got the list in front of me, and feel free to reach out, and we'll let you know.